Hi, welcome. This is a reflection on lesson 263 in A Course in Miracles. It says, my holy vision sees all things as pure. I think that's what it says. My holy vision sees all things as pure. And to me, this one talked about how if God created all things pure, so why should we judge, didn't use that word, but look upon things as impure or full of sin, it says, which I think is what it means by when I say impure. I think same thing. So I need to sit down here. It makes me think about, like when I read this, it made me think immediately about how, well, aren't some things in the world just objectively bad or wrong? And then I thought, that's still a judgment from my human mind. That's still a judgment. Who am I to judge something as right or wrong? And then you think about, well, moral objective, or is it objectively moral or immoral? Is there something universal that all humans believe to be bad? Does it pass that test? And then I'm like, actually, I don't know. And who am I anyway to judge or question that? So it's hard because some things you'd think nobody would want that. I'm thinking genocide and all those awful things. And so that's where my head went immediately, was like, well, let's test this. Like, let me look upon all things as pure without judgment. And I'm like, well, I kind of still want to judge things like that. And then I thought, well, on any timeline, we have to trust, I guess, things are as they should be, right? That's what this whole book talks about. So let's pretend I'm going along on that journey, because I have so far. But today my thoughts really went, what about the worst things? Can you sit back and say, like, let me look upon them as pure? If I use my holy vision, which says that's God's vision, it's as God created things and intended them to be. So I'm like, and then I wanted to just run away and not do this lesson. So I'm just being honest. And I thought, well, let's just all this out here on my reflection with no real answers other than, can I come into a place over and over and over again, because that's my journey with this book this year, as recognizing my own judgments. And that's one journey. And saying, like, who am I to judge? And who am I to say I am the objective morality police? So it brings me more into a state of humility and trust and trusting in the unknowing about why things are as they are. I mean, if you believe that God, which I believe is love, created all of us and gave us this free will to do whatever we want, it's up to each of us to act in alignment with our highest selves, our fullest potential in love. And of course, we're not all doing that. And that's why bad things happen in the world. So yeah, it's a byproduct of the love energy that created all of us. So it's like, but some part of me still wants to go, that's good and that's bad, and we shouldn't do that thing. And that's up to each of us to decide. I doubt there's got to be one thing that every human in the world, all 8 billion plus, would say, that's good and that's bad. Because we're going to fall on one side of that judgment call based on our circumstances, our personal values, whatever. I don't know. I just have more questions than answers on this one. And I kind of love that. Again, because it brought me immediately back into that state of humility of not knowing and being like, I got to be comfortable with that. I got to get comfortable with the discomfort of that, those questions. So, yeah, it's a good one. So here's my cat. Hi. Hey, Agador. He's the sweetest little baby. Yes, you are.